I just
Uh-huh.
some days it'd be like that. Hi everybody. Welcome to the
Yeah.
show. Um so I just want to make a quick sort of announcement up front. This show is probably going to be shorter than we usually go uh because Dana's had a long day and just wants to get this over with.
No, no, it hasn't been a long day. It's just been hard.
It's been yeah, it's well
It's been challenging.
you're tired because you had this was your first day back at work after summer break
And
and
that's no, no. It's not.
that's okay. Well,
I mean,
please,
that's
please.
part of it. That's part of it. But just it's a lot, you guys. It's a lot. I have two classes that I've never taught before. In addition to another class that I have taught before. So I've got three preps and we're on block schedule. So like that's the most you can have.
Yeah.
Uh oh God, Norm. Um, Chatting with us is relaxing, but I literally want to get to bed earlier.
Right.
So
She
I'm like,
wants to
okay,
go to
how
sleep.
much I want to be in bed and sleeping. Also, tomorrow
You're going for a run
I'm
tomorrow, right?
yeah, I'm going for a longish run, so I need to get up earlier, which means I need to get to bed earlier. So yeah, in addition to the additional classes that I haven't taught before, for which I have at this point no materials. The materials exist. I just don't have access to them yet.
Well, that's
Try
fun.
not to think about that. Try not to think about that. I'm breathing. Yeah, but Zaylee, y'all do not want to have a live stream of me sleeping. I mean,
This the
I mean,
snooze cam, the Dana
we can
snooze
do
cam.
that, but I'm far less witty when I'm asleep. I mean, I am like in my head, but to my knowledge, I don't actually say the things that are
Your
going on.
dreams are
Like,
hilarious. It's just,
not necessarily hilarious, but always interesting. Last night I had a kid. Like I had a baby in my dream
you
last
now
night.
now do you mean like you had a baby or you actually gave birth to a baby in the dream?
I didn't give birth in the dream, but like in the dream, I'd given birth and I had an infant that
You
I
were
was
the parent
concerned
of a
because
baby.
I was the parent of an infant. Yes,
Yeah.
I was concerned because like my brother was trying to like, sort of hold it up by its hands and teach it how to walk. And I'm like, you can't do that. It's only like a few weeks old. It was a son, by the way. He's only a few weeks old. I don't remember what his name was. I think he had a name. Anyway, it was weird because like
I think he had
he
a name.
I don't
Boy,
know.
child. I don't know. Whatever. I just say, hey, you. Hey,
No,
buddy.
like in the dream, it made sense because
Okay.
he had a name, Steve. He had a name. Anyway, not the point. I don't think that would be particularly interesting for the rest of you. And I mean, it's not like this is my job, but I mean, I don't know why you would want that on your channel because I mean, you would just be sitting there like not talking to me because I ain't gonna be saying anything. I'm not gonna have these in, that's for sure. So I'm not even gonna be listening to you. Not that I listen to you
It-
much anyway, but at least
that's
I can hear
true.
you.
You listen for a space that you can jump in.
So anyway,
Yes.
So anyway, in addition to these new classes, for which I don't have access to materials, breathing, breathing, I've also had my room moved and
Yes.
got there. And the things that like I'd already taken my posters off the walls because they were going to be painting the walls on our hallway. So that was 255 I've gotten that idea. Steve just I reserve the right to tap out, dude. I don't know if it's
Of
my first
course.
day back
Of
teaching. It's
course.
really stressful, and now I have to deal with somebody who's like not a teacher.
It's you always have the right to say, you know what? Let's just not.
Like I don't care how much. At least it's not to it anyway. So I'll also move the room, get there. So I'd taken everything off my walls, and all I needed was like my teacher desk. I have a cabinet in my room. I have a bookshelf in my room, and I have two filing cabinets. I needed that stuff in my new room. It's not there. And this is stuff that is like the bookshelf is not the bookshelf was empty, but like so I'm just like it's okay. They'll move it Friday, and then I'm kind of getting that I got kind of encouraged to help people move the furniture, like if they got some like access to a dolly. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I'm trying to figure out where my posters should go, based on the new layout of this room, where students are going to be looking most often, what they need to be seeing. And I'm just like, can I realize that the person now in my room is a new teacher and wants to get started, and but like the maintenance people said that they were going to do this on Friday. So I mean, I'm already having to deal with waiting. I'd like to have it done now, but like I have other things. Oh, so
it's just a lot of stuff you don't have you don't have control over, and you just have to trust other people and hope that they do what they said they were going to do when they said they were going to do it.
Well, and but I understand. But so anyway, we sort of my department head's son he's a junior this year. I had him in class last year. Just he is a freaking angel, and he just took the dolly and started moving stuff.
Good for him.
Yes, and I'm just like, so I'm going to text her.
What a helpful kid.
Yeah, and I'm going to text her later and say, look, he was, great, hard worker, just a stellar young man. So I really appreciated his help, because I was like, I felt like this is a new teacher. I want her to get started. I want to support her, but I'm like, I'm really stressed about this.
Yeah.
Wait.
What?
Oh, this episode is also about people trying to push religion in schools.
Yes.
This is the. A lot to say about that.
Yeah. Well, hopefully this is the. Actually, I did a video about this one a few years ago. It's one. I think it was the first one of my Trek Actually videos that was about an episode of Deep Space Nine. Because this is it's very clearly an allegory for like the creation, evolution. Which like should religious creation myths be taught in science class, that kind of thing?
No, I don't. What? Yeah, first of all, I'm not a science teacher.
I mean, I think
second of all, despite the fact that I teach in the Deep South in a low-income rural community, it's not an issue. It's literally not an issue. Our science teachers, it hasn't. I mean, I've been teaching there for going on 20 years now.
Yeah. It's the impression I get is that it's not actually an issue in most places. It's just an issue in a handful of places where it has been forced by a small number of people. Yeah, and exactly, and it gets I mean, the nice part is they made enough of a stink of it that it got to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court said, no, you can't do it. Leave us alone. So at least there's that. But yeah, I don't think it's ever really been an actual controversy in most schools, in most communities.
I will see on my Facebook feed, not a lot, but pretty regularly from time to time about, they've taken prayer out of schools and you're not allowed to pray in schools. I'm going to be like, where's the statute? Somebody was saying that, it was either like in New Hampshire or Maine. I'm like, really? You really think that students aren't allowed to pray in school? I'm like, look, dude, you're just wrong.
255 AD. Yes, that was pre-Obama SCOTUS. That was 2004, I think, when that ruling came down.
Ago. And then but there are. So, for example, we had first day back, they provided breakfast for us, and there was a prayer before it. I mean, it was like non-denominational, certainly.
Right. And it was informal, and it wasn't like an official school.
Right. But at the same time, what was interesting was there was there were FCA Fellowship of Christian Athletes, but it's the student Christian group on campus. There were a few of them there to pray for our school first and for the health of our teachers and students and guidance and things like that, because it's going to be a challenge. And then after that was like the prayer for the food, but the student who said the first prayer said amen. And so a few people started talking. And then
they thought it was over. Yeah.
Because they said amen.
Yeah, amen. That's amen means you can eat. Let's eat. Yeah.
Have you seen the Elizabeth Taylor Richard Burton Taming of the Shrew?
We watched that together a long time ago, but I
Okay, do
can't
you
remember
remember?
a
Do you
lot of
remember
it.
when he says when when he's trying to break her, and they get there and they've had this long ride, and she's just like, she sits down and they're like, she's about to fall asleep at the table. He lets her kind of drift off, and then he goes, food, food, food. And they bring out and she's just like, oh, I can smell it. I can smell it. He's like, wait, wait, wait. And they cross themselves. She's like, okay. Yeah. And she goes in, and he's like, wait, wait. And he continues, in nomine Domini, amen. And finally she looks at him and she goes, amen. Dives in. Oh my goodness. But yeah.
Amen. So, God damn it.
Like people went over and like shushed the people who were talking.
Right.
And I'm just like, so
it's not their fault. Like they thought it was over.
It was yeah, right. It wasn't, but they were just, so it was some random geek. I'm not fond of the play, but I love their performances. I mean, they are just so much fun to watch.
Burton and Taylor are really fun in it. Yeah, I remember liking it. I don't remember a lot about it in terms of detail, but I remember liking it for their performances.
Yep.
But I mean, it's been I've only seen it that one time, and that's probably 20 years ago, so I don't remember a lot of it, but I remember liking it.
Yeah,
and I never like studied that play, so I don't have that to,
So yeah, and I was just like, it's kind of uncomfortable because I mean, what are you gonna do? Just be like, this doesn't apply to me. Can I just eat now?
Right.
So it's just like, you just kind of go with it, and it's like
the best version of Grace is the Bart Simpson version, where he says, "Dear God, we paid for all this food ourselves, so thanks for nothing."
So, all right. Well,
shall we get? Yeah.
Well, go ahead. And yeah, it's a lot, and I didn't get as much done as I wanted to, and I'm frustrated, and it's just really stressful. And I've got a lot of family stuff going on too.
Yeah.
Not bad, just
a lot. Yeah.
A lot.
Just a lot.
I will say, you can make me feel better if, like Sarah, you left me a comment on the video that I put up yesterday.
Ah, yes. Dana's YouTube channel. Dana's YouTube channel is linked in the description of this video.
Comment. I think somebody else did. From like they saw it from Twitter. I don't think they're a regular on here. If you're here, hi. Let me know in the chat.
And the video, and I mean, I enjoy all of your videos, but the video that you put up yesterday is really good.
Yeah, I was talking about that. Has it? Is it better than the Grammar Police one, which I think was your previous favorite?
Yeah, and I haven't watched the Grammar Police one for a while, so I might have to go back and rewatch that for a comparison. But I mean, I really I think this one that went up yesterday is definitely your best written one. I think I've told you that. Like
I really I complained about it for like days on end. I like really was wrangling with that thing, but once it put together, I was like, I knew I was gonna have something good. It was just a matter of getting the darn thing.
Well, because it's a good idea, and it's a good, like I told you, I think I told you yesterday, like the turn that it makes a little more than halfway through, and it's like, okay, now here's what I'm really talking about. I think is well done, and I just
it's set up, and it's timely, and I felt really good about it.
So youtube.com/Dana Coldares. It's linked in the description of the video. Go watch Dana. Not only her most recent video, but all of her videos. And because
it's
she's
not
crazy
in
about
any particular order. It's in the one teacher's thoughts. I guess you can find them in order, just like which one's posted yesterday.
Yeah.
But it's the one teacher's thoughts one, and it's the most recent one on there.
Yeah. So do that, anyway. But don't do that right now, because right now I want you to watch Deep Space Nine.
We're going to watch Deep Space Nine.
Okay.
Woohoo!
So, and once again, just for those of you who showed up a few minutes after we started, we're probably not going to go quite as long as we usually do tonight, because Dana wants.
I'm going to do my best, but it sounds like I'm going to have some ranting to do. So
okay, well, I mean, if you're, I mean, we'll go as long as you're comfortable with. But if you want to, if we get to the end of the episode and you're just like, all right, I got 5 more minutes and then we're done, like that's completely cool. Like. It's
Yes.
completely up to you. And we're probably,
I
and because of that, we're probably going to take fewer commercial breaks while we're
Yeah.
watching. I think we're gonna let it play through until about halfway, and then maybe pause and talk a little
And
bit,
I
and then get
don't
back to it. So,
I don't know how much patience I'm gonna have about teaching you guys. I just do not
well, now I will say this.
know.
I will say, and I mean, it's up, it's up to you, and it's you react however you react. But the school is important to the story, but I don't think there's not a lot of Keiko teaching. I mean,
We'll
there's a
see.
there's there, but
We'll see. Let's
we'll see.
go.
We'll see. All right, so everybody get ready. We're once again, for those of you who are really far behind, we're going to watch Deep Space Nine, episode 19, the last episode of season 1, which is called In the Hands of the Prophets. And we're going to get started in just a few seconds. All right, Dana, are you ready?
I'm waiting on you, dude. Come on.
Right then, here we go. Everybody get ready. I'll count us in. 3, 2, 1, play. It's a natural sweetness.
Why did she call him O'Brien? I guess it's supposed to be funny.
It's like a thing.
Okay. Whatever.
She probably called him O'Brien before they got hitched, and she just kept doing it.
Because he's an officer and she's not?
No, she just probably I guess because everybody
Whatever.
on the Enterprise always called him O'Brien.
Oh, God. As you know, students. God, really?
Well, we need to see a little of this to set up what's going to happen.
Oh, God. No, this is terrible. Oh, my God. Oh, oh.
Okay, it's going to be fine.
How much longer?
Just a few.
It's just a name. You're the one bringing up worship. Oh, my God.
Wow.
Oh. Oh, God, she's just lecturing to children. Why do we just have a random visitor just showing up? Oh, God.
Well, there's no principal, so like.
Oh.
I guess Cisco would be closest thing to the principal.
Oh. Why? How much longer, Sarah?
It's just.
How? Oh, God.
Nurse Ratched in the house.
There we go.
Oh,
Yay.
shit. So that was a
Azalea,
lot more.
her teaching is so she's lecturing. We can it's just the intro.
It's the intro. Go ahead.
She's lecturing to like elementary school children. Like lecturing is like not. I mean, you could just read that from a book, and then my favorite when she says, "Who knows why the wormhole is stable?" She answers her own question. You don't do that. You don't do that. You have a conversation with people. That's like it's
I think I've told you before. I think when we in the last episode that had the school in it a good bit. I think
actually, can we pause legitimately?
Do you want to pause right now?
Yeah.
Okay, everybody.
I'm not going to make it.
Okay.
I'm seriously not.
So you do.
Count us?
Okay. Everybody, get ready to pause. 3, 2, 1, pause. Wow, this is unprecedented.
Okay, so
Okay, so go
yeah,
ahead.
you like talk to the people in chat. I'll be back in a couple of minutes.
Okay. Wow.
Oh my
Oh
god.
boy, she's gonna go get something to drink. That's what's about to happen. Dana's about to get drunk. So okay, we're paused at 41:48. This has never happened before. Where we're actually paused before we even get through the opening credits. But I think I know what is about to happen. Um and what's about to happen is Dana is going to go. Let me see. Yeah, we're paused at 41:48 remaining. So, um, okay. So there's where we're paused at, everybody, up above the video there. Um, and yeah, I'm pretty sure she's going to come back with a glass in her hand. I think that's what's about to happen. She's gonna she's gonna need a little alcoholic lubrication to get through this episode. I honestly did not expect that the teaching scenes would be that upsetting to her. But I guess I probably should have, because as I was going to say before she asked to pause and left, watching this in specific, and just teaching shows in general, like TV shows and movies where there is teaching involved, watching that kind of thing with Dana, I imagine it's what it must be like to watch a cop show with an actual policeman, or a medical show with an actual medical professional. Like they see everything, they just instinctively, latch on to everything that the show is getting wrong, and they
All right,
can't
let me
get
get my
past
earbuds
that
in.
to I was just saying, watching teaching stuff with you is probably like watching a medical drama with a doctor, or like a medical professional, because you just, like, everything that they're doing wrong jumps out at you, and you can't actually
Somewhat, except
you
the thing is,
can't view it as like drama. It's like they're getting it wrong.
yes. But there's slightly different reasons for that. With the medical drama, it's because the producers assume that nobody's going to know what we're talking about. Most of your audience aren't doctors, so who cares? They do a little bit of research to make it plausible. You know,
Right.
but in education, everybody's been through school, and so they're like, "I got this." No, obviously not. All right, hang on.
Okay. By the way, what I tell you, I told everybody you were coming back with a glass in your hand. I told everybody. Yeah. I mean, I get it, but I also don't you think? I mean,
Okay.
I think I know the answer to this. Just the demands of the episode. Like, it's more important for that scene. It's more important to set up the conflict between,
No, I don't. You
Okay.
could set up the conflict and not have it, be presented as this is perfectly fine. Like I
Okay,
real oh
but could you do that? But could you do that in 2 minutes? Could you do that in 2 minutes?
say that again.
Could you do that in 2 minutes?
Could I do that in 2 minutes, Steve? Do you think I could do that in two
Okay,
minutes?
okay. I mean,
Answer.
yes, you probably could. Okay,
Thank you
fine.
very much.
Wow, boy, that was a close one. Wow, folks. Okay, so are you good? Do you want to jump back into it, or do you need another
Oh
couple minutes?
gosh. No, let me end. So, Empress Meg, fun fact, Tarani makes sugar-free flavor syrups. They're delightful. This one is strawberry. And what are you drinking, Steve?
Your favorite, my lemon lime
Mm-hmm.
flavored seltzer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. With no sweetener in it. Blah. I'm
It tastes
having
like lemon lime. Yes, what are you having?
I'm having the strawberry flavored syrup and lime juice and black cherry seltzer with sweetener in it. And vodka.
I love how you're accusing me of something when you say that.
Oh gosh. Well, yeah, Caitlin, by comparison, you know, I mean, it could be worse. It could be worse. Um, Steve, I'm going to encourage you to see if we can find the Seinfeld SNL sketch where he's like
Oh,
social
where
studies
he?
teachers.
Yes, I've
Yeah,
seen that.
and
Yeah.
oh gosh, he says, let's stop worrying about facts and just think a little bit. So let's think about what group was coming to power in Europe in the 1930s, in Germany. And I'm like, so you're not looking for facts here? This isn't fact because you're asking for a fact. And then he goes, and all the students are leaning forward. They're like, and he goes like, nah, and the students are like, nah, and he says, Nazis, yeah, right. Just like, at least with Seinfeld, it's like he's mocking that. It's illustrating that this is, you're not supposed to think he's doing a good job.
So the lesson here for everybody is if you want Dana.
David C. Drake, yes, I realize that. But she doesn't, like, it starts off with an as you know, like she literally says.
But she needs to establish that so that the conflict with Wynn makes sense when Wynn shows up.
Oh gosh, like you can okay, so they could just be talking about, because this is the last episode of the season.
Yes,
like if you don't know about the wormhole, then why did you start with the last episode?
Should still, I think it should be established in the episode.
There should have some setup, but all they need to do is talk about why the wormhole is stable and have them be talking about it in scientific terms when Wynn comes in and says, aren't you talking about the prophets? And she's like, no, we're talking about blah, 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 whatever the reasons, the sciencey reasons that the wormhole is stable.
Right.
We're not talking about the prophets. And she's like, yeah, but the prophets are the reason the wormhole is stable. And then Keiko's like, that is the teaching of your faith. And there are still many things about, the stability of wormholes that we don't completely understand, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, thank you, David. The whole segment could have been so much better. Oh my goodness.
Okay. Well, I think I don't think there's another teaching scene in the episode, or if
at all.
Help me out, chat. I may be forgetting, but I think, the school continues to be a plot point, but I think there might be there's a scene at the school later, but I don't know if there's if we see Keiko teaching during it. But
yes, but I care and it matters. Right, Steve?
Yes, absolutely.
That's in my inspiration.
It's a reminder,
mantra.
Yeah.
You care and it matters.
Mark Neeland. Thank you, Mark. Or Nyland. No more teaching scenes confirmed. There you go. Okay. And by the way,
Charles Chapman says there's one more at least.
Well, we're gonna find out. And by the way, David C. Drake, a few minutes ago, you asked me who's my favorite X-Man. Wolverine is my favorite X-Man, and if that surprises anybody, you don't know me very well, because whatever.
Why? Because he swears a lot.
Well, that, but also because it's the most obvious choice, and my favorites are usually I'm not like the person, if you ask me oh, who's your favorite blah 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 character, I'm almost never gonna pick the obscure guy that nobody's heard of. I'm gonna pick the protagonist of the thing, because that's just the way I connect with things.
Cyclops?
Not in the movies. Cyclops sure as hell ain't the protagonist of the movie. The X-Men movies, it's well, you know what? It's funny. When they gave Wolverine his first solo movie, and they said oh, finally Wolverine gets his own movie, and I'm like, didn't he get 3 movies?
Several.
The X-Men movies are all about him. Okay.
Let's
go. Are you good?
I will be.
Okay. Well, hopefully.
You know that I will survive.
You will.
Let's go.
Yes. Okay. So we're going to get back into this. We're going to finish the opening credits, and we're going to get back into the episode. Here we go. All right. In 3, 2, 1, play.
See, some random geek, why is Cyclops annoying as the Boy Scout while Superman as the Boy Scout is endearing? There's a video for you, Steve.
I'd
You think I'm kidding?
have to. Oh, yeah. I'm not one of the Cyclops haters. I mean, the only reason I would have to be annoyed at Cyclops is that he is like a barrier stopping Jean and Wolverine from getting together. Like other than that, like as a character unto himself, I think he's fine. I've never had a problem with him.
Chris Peach beauty shots were at the intro with the names on the screen. Not a visitor, I'm saying, and that's she just
Yeah,
went away.
the time code is up at the top. We're at and
Oh yeah, there's a time
it's
code.
counting down because on when I watch Netflix in my browser, it only gives me a time remaining code. So we're at that's 40. As I'm saying this, it's 40:45 remaining. So that's where we're at, right at the end of the opening credits.
I'm so glad I didn't have pizza yet. It'll hit faster. Oh, so this is the woman that Keiko was teasing him about, presumably.
Yeah, Neela.
No, Chris Kringle, I would disagree there. Having the teacher's physical presence is better.
EJ7. It sounds like the result of a personality test.
It sounds like a personal problem to me. Vilcata, that's interesting. Keiko handled it incredibly badly.
She's a villain.
Ah,
Hmm.
oh, I'm not gonna let. Oh my God, Keiko, get out of the classroom for God's sakes!
Well, what's wrong with what she's saying? Would you, as a teacher, want religious leaders dictating what you could teach in
Oh my
school?
God, we were talking about this. We were talking about this last night at the when I went to the theater
You're reading, yeah.
reading group. We were talking about this in terms of in that time in that case it was oh blah blah blah. I'm trying to talk and they're blah blah blah. That is, but they have a culture that you need to take into account and respect. They are individuals. They have, like if you're,
Well, that I mean that's fine, but that doesn't mean she should be okay with religious leaders coming into her classroom.
I don't think she should allow a layperson to dictate what is taught, but that's not what they're talking about, and to respond with, to Kira's statement, which is not appropriate, that some changes to the curriculum, she thinks there should be some changes to the curriculum, to say, okay, why? You need to listen.
Okay, but is that the right choice when you're writing an episode of a drama?
If I'm in the audience, yes. God. Sarah, even if their philosophy contradicts evolution or vaccines, it is important to listen to them, no matter what.
Yeah, 255 AD, you're right. Science is a part of philosophy. That's one thing I disagree with Keiko about. She says, I'm not teaching any philosophy, but I mean, there is a philosophical underpinning to science that you can't avoid. So it's not
Chris
exactly
Ringel,
honest to say that.
I disagree. I think that physical presence, the ability to touch, it matters. The option to reach out and, you will have students who need the opportunity to get a hug or to hold your hand or something like that. Yeah, it's not the same.
I look into the God's eyes all the time, and I love it.
Empress Meg, I'm really curious about that. Sarah Scott, yes, I think there's a place for it in the curriculum, and there is a place to acknowledge it. Say that's not what we're talking about right now.
It's a little more complicated in this particular situation because Keiko is the only teacher. I think if you're in a what we would think of as a more typical school where it's different teachers and different classes, then yeah, absolutely. If you want to have a class where they learn about religion and they learn about that sort of thing in the context of studying culture and studying history and studying philosophy, I think that's fine, but it shouldn't be in science class. But with Keiko, because she teaches everything, it's kind of all, run together. No, Azalea, we're gonna keep watching. We're gonna pause about halfway through.
Oh, okay, it's kicking in.
are you gonna make it?
Some random geek, maybe, but at the same time, it's important to make connections between disciplines. I mean, I do that, and I was talking about this on Twitter 2 days ago, I think, and also when I was attending my the literacy online convention that I went to last week. That was one of the things that we got to talk about was the way that there are parallels between math and science and English, that the idea of pattern recognition is significant to those disciplines. And even though it's used in different ways, that base concept is, you can port those skills in pattern recognition between math and science and literature and grammar, that being able to recognize a pattern and then see when there's a break in that pattern is vital. And, as well as in human interactions as well. So.
So while you were talking, they found a dead guy in one of the maintenance conduits.
What? Oh, yeah. Oh, interesting. Whoa, dude.
Oh, yeah. Get him, O'Brien.
Jeez. Okay. Now. Oh, because Keiko's the teacher.
I love O'Brien. He's going to beat that guy's ass.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Look how mad he is. I love it. He's going to beat the shit out of that guy.
Oh, my goodness gracious. It's like the fact that it's escalating in one episode is just stupid. I need more.
Chief, Mr. O'Brien.
Good. No, she's not! No! What you're doing to her? Oh, God. I don't know if I'm going to make it, Steve. Yeah, exactly, David Corden. I do like the earlier setup for the jump to sticks. So it's like,
yeah.
Ooh. And also as like a lollipop type thing, those suckers, suckers.
They're huge. They're huge.
Yeah, they're huge. They're ridiculous. I'm not going to allow it. Yeah, their parents have no say whatsoever. Oh, okay. So that's literally happened in my class. I've been told, I've been told, this particular short story has things in it that are offensive. And I've been asked, are there other stories that you could use? And my answer was yes. But I mean, that's like, can we ignore the sun,
Yeah.
please? And I'm just
Yeah.
like, it's right there for
Yeah.
God's
It's a little different when you're like a
Yeah.
science teacher and it's like, no, we kind of have to teach them basic biology. Or if you're like, there's a wormhole right outside the
Like,
window.
or English. Can
Like,
you just like not teach them grammar?
right?
What?
Do they need to know what verbs are? I mean, can we skip that?
Oh, there's not there's not enough vodka. I can't watch Mountain Dog. Steve.
Yes. Are you okay?
I'll survive. And Richard Moore, you don't want to go there.
Don't start shit with an English teacher on the stream. Karash, verbs are doing words.
Karash, you can go to my channel. I have I have a couple of lessons about verbs.
Yeah.
And then if you will leave me a comment saying what you don't understand, I will absolutely make a video just for you about things that you don't understand.
Look at that. Now that's service.
Oh, I can't go. Random geek, I can't. Literally, I don't have any gin. And maybe I shouldn't get behind the wheel of a car anytime soon.
When you've just drank a whole bunch of vodka.
I'm
not a whole bunch, but
and a half shots. No, this is Munchkin talking to Daddy.
Yeah.
Oh, that was interesting. How could anyone be so stupid? I was curious who he was talking about there. And this is incredibly arrogant. The idea is like, we know all about this. No, you don't. There's a whole bunch you don't know about that wormhole. Duh. Like, you know that you don't completely understand the wormhole. So can you just like not? Oh.
Well, he's like 13.
Yeah, exactly. That's fine. But his dad
give him a break. Well, his dad is making the opposite point, though. His dad is saying that that it's a matter of interpretation.
No, his dad is saying, we need to consider their faith and it's important to them and blah, blah, blah. No, it's not just that. It's we don't completely understand it and we need to not be arrogant. And his dad is not making that point.
Well, I think he is, though. I mean, he's saying what we think of as wormhole aliens, they're thinking of as prophets, where, we have a different understanding of the same things.
No. Yes, that's what he's saying, but no, that was not my point. My point is we should know that we have a limited understanding of this.
Okay, but I mean, just for the sake of that scene,
I feel like I will certainly not be better than a common Olympic athlete. I will be worse because I ain't coming back.
You ain't gonna win no bronze. You're not gonna come back and win the bronze at the end.
Yeah, take that. If I quit, I stay quitted.
I'm not going to quit quitting.
It could be worse.
The first thing they do is grab my... Well, never mind.
Oh boy. No. uncertainties in theory don't mean that other theories are equally valid, but we need to teach that there are limits to what we know. And to teach that, we are still exploring scientifically, what else we can find out, and that there is so much out there to learn, even when we get, and it becomes more and more difficult to add, the more knowledge that we have, the more and more difficult it becomes to like really increase that. It takes more and more effort, the law of diminishing returns. So yeah, Corey and Sarah, I'm sort of seeing it that way. They could see the future as easily as the past. So is it hard to believe they could be prophets? To say that this way of thinking about it is definitely wrong. There are a whole lot of Bajorans out there, and they don't all think, they're not monolithic. They don't all think exactly the same thing about the prophets. So Sarah, no, I disagree strongly. As you teach what we understand, because that's one of the ways that you support student curiosity, to say, guess what? We know a lot, but there's more that we don't know.
Well, but don't you have
and
to? But don't you have to
build? Yeah,
but you have to be careful, because
build,
if you have the uncertainty in there too, like it would be confusing, especially if you're teaching like younger students, like.
No, but you're not necessarily teaching. You're not saying, here are the things we don't know. You're saying, here are the things we do know, but there's more that we don't.
Well,
there's more to learn.
But like that's why you teach them Newtonian physics first, and then before you start with Einsteinian stuff, because that's way more complicated.
Newtonian physics, you're saying, yes, but there's more that we don't know. You're not saying these are the things that we don't know. You're saying
there's more that we don't.
Here's what we know. There's, we're going to get you to the point where you'll find out that you're at the limits of what we know, and you can go further. That's literally one of my goals for students, one of my wishes. It's like on my wish list, because it's hard to do, especially at the high school level, when they're just they become very disillusioned.
Yeah,
is to reestablish some of that student curiosity. It's really important. Well, take it easy. That's just bad writing. Sarah Scott, I disagree. I think you don't teach, here are the things that we don't know, but you acknowledge that throughout. Sarah, I just disagree.
I think for this, I agree with Sarah, just for the sake of clarity. I mean, if you're teaching potentially complex concepts, especially to students who aren't necessarily, having an aptitude for it, like the more I have no problem with acknowledging that there are things we don't know, because of course I think that's important. But for the most part, like I think keeping it simple and just trying to put across the basic concepts as clearly as you can is the most important.
Yeah, but I don't think it creates. I struggle to see how it creates problems to acknowledge, to be humble, as you say, here's what we know.
Okay, but you do that. But you do that once at the beginning of the unit, and then you get to teaching. I mean,
I think it depends. I think it depends on the class and the students. As to, don't interrupt instructions every 5 minutes. But how long is your unit? And it depends on the class and what their questions are. And it's it's something that needs to be reinforced.
Okay, we're gonna pause here. 3, 2, 1, pause. And I'm paused at 22:18 remaining.
Oh, I'm at 22:16. I'm ahead of you.
Yeah, I thought you were by a couple seconds based on your reactions. Yeah, so I'm at 22:18 remaining.
I'm trying.
It's okay. If you need to let but just back up and let it play.
Like when I go to 22:19. Okay, 20, fine, 22:20. So when you say 3, I'll go at 3.
Okay.
Or no, I'll go at 2, because you'll go 3, 2, 1, click.
So yeah. Um,
Caleb fell. I remember the first time I bent light in a prism, I freaked out because my teachers kept saying, light only moves straight. Light only moves straight, but you can change it. Isn't that cool? Yeah, and it's about, here's the simple things. And it's like an infomercial, but wait, there's more, you know? And saying, acknowledging that early on and say, we're not there yet, but I'm so excited about this. I'm so excited that we get to develop this understanding so that we can get to some of the more. But guess what? There's even more beyond that. What time are we at? I'm so excited. So I'm going to take a pause here.
Okay.
Well, we're already paused and
Yeah.
go sort of off track. If you've seen people walking around in the background, one of them is my husband, and one of them is our the it's a complicated situation.
Take a second.
Someone else is living with us, and she's had her first day at a new job, and she's her very first day at
It's
a
very
full-time
exciting.
job. It's so exciting, and her shift ends at 7, and I heard like footsteps. Like, oh, is she there? Wait, what time is it? So, and that's why I don't have pizza yet. Is because we're waiting for her so that she can have pizza when she gets home. Just, you guys, I'm so excited, and I'm so happy for her, and I hope it went well. But the
I'm
fact that
sure
she
it did.
has not just like, are you in an OFT and come home already means, she's sticking it out, and I'm so excited. Yeah, and I love it when students are, Empress Meg, when you talk about, your daughter getting excited about seeing Jupiter in our sky.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get teared up. When students get excited about things, or when they see something new, or they're able to improve their skills, like when they see their own skills improving, or they're able to do something that they have difficulty with before, it's just, as a teacher, it's like, it's so nice.
Yeah. So should we get back into the episode so that you can finish up a little earlier, and when she gets home, you won't have to be
I'm
finishing the
sorry,
stream for a
Richard
while?
Moore. Yeah, it's two different conversations. I just have lots of thoughts on this one.
And you're a little tipsy.
I'm a little tipsy, but also it's also helping because I'm not just feeling, it's just like, oh, it's taken just I'm not thinking about my school day anymore.
Well,
So,
there you go.
who knows, we might go. So as Richard and Azalea are saying, if we do, if we do stop more often, I'm starting to be more cool with that, because I'm just like the booze is helping me.
Okay. Well, I would say this if because other people are saying that because there's more talking over the episode this time than there usually is. So
yes.
if you get to a point where you feel like you have a lot to say, just let me know and we'll pause it there, even if it's not a break, and you can say what you need to say.
And in fairness, y'all, this is your fault because you're saying interesting things in chat. So, I mean, if you just were more boring, then I wouldn't have as much to say. But I care about school, okay, you guys? So Scott, I've taken it harder. I care very much about teaching. Should vendors on the station have to serve everyone?
I say yes.
Yeah,
I say it's an equal access issue. It's like it's just the same way. Yeah.
But at the same time, it's interesting that apparently has this not been an issue before, or what?
Apparently not.
Well, Chris Kringle, you don't get to say that without saying why. Some random geek, I didn't say that. I said, if you don't want me to talk, then you gotta be boring. So, but I am feeling better, Steve, about pausing. So, although I may have to pause and give somebody a hug when they get back.
Well, of course.
So, just FYI.
But yeah, Sarah, I think they can. I would imagine the Federation has rules similar to we have in the United States because the Federation is an analog of the United States. So I would imagine that like vendors and business owners have a right to refuse service, but not on the basis of a person's race or gender or some other protected category. Like I think that guy refusing to sell Keiko a Jumja stick because of her religious beliefs or lack thereof, I think that would be,
But also,
an
I think
illegitimate.
she was. I think she's been somewhat dismissive of their faith,
Well, I don't know if she, I mean, she has been a little dismissive of her faith, but I think, I mean, if I mean, I'll look, not to the surprise of anybody, I'm 100% on Keiko's side here. I think she's completely in the right. I think whether we can argue about whether or not she's a good teacher. Like personally, I don't. It's fun to argue whether or not she's a good teacher. Just but I don't think it matters to the episode. I think that's like extracurricular stuff that we can talk about. But I think for the drama of the episode, just take it as read that she's supposed to be a good teacher and just see where the story goes.
Wait.
But
Okay, go ahead. Finish it.
well, but for someone like in her position who is a teacher trying to teach science, and then for this person to come into her class and say you can't teach the science because the science contradicts my religion, I'm 100% on Keiko's side for her to say, well, that's I'm not. You don't get to tell me what to teach in my class. So go ahead. Sorry, go
Okay,
ahead.
so I know a Star Trek thing.
Oh, please.
Okay, so where's my scrolling? Okay, Norman said he refused to sell a brand Jumbo stick, but I was paying attention, and it's a Jumbo stick.
That's right. Not a Jumbo stick, a Jumja stick.
I usually don't. Usually Jason's like, pause. Okay, so Dana, you can't. That's not accurate. As in, we have to find reasons why my character on the Ensign blog doesn't.
Pause. So okay, stop. Dana,
I'm so sorry.
Dana, Wookiees aren't in Star Trek.
Well, we don't have maybe Wookiees. They should be, Jason.
We don't have Wookiees here.
That's why Star Trek isn't as cool as Star Wars.
You can't say your previous captain was Han Solo. It doesn't make sense. I would never
say that.
I know.
I would never say that. I would totally say that my previous captain was Captain Leia.
There you go.
Captain Organa to you.
Captain Organa. So shall we get back into it?
No.
Okay.
Because I have more things to respond to.
Okay.
In the chat. Yeah, and David, this was it. David C. Drake, right to refuse is so often a cover for bigotry that a refusal needs to be defended by a clear, and I will say, very specific and precise policy, not just arbitrary. I don't want to serve you. So yeah.
Right.
Let me see it. Caitlin L., I love your story about Pluto. And Azalea Jane, it's not entirely my fault. Because I do talk over the episode, but I'm also not the one with the pause button, but you don't want that because I abuse buttons. I'm just like, especially if they beep. This one doesn't, so that would be good. But
well, and also, I mean, if we paused every time
I had
you wanted to go off on a tangent, we'd be here all night.
Yeah, I have a lot to say, you guys, in case you haven't noticed. And 255 AD had a couple of questions.
Yeah, I know 255 AD's last one was about the Galileo. I'm not sure what was pompous about the Galileo thing. Jake brought it up. And I mean, I guess was Jake the one being pompous? Because I feel like
I don't know what you mean by RR.
Yeah, 255. If you can clarify what part of it you thought was pompous, because I feel like Jake was the
point. Okay, go ahead.
Well,
Zaley, I want to get to your comment.
Well, because I feel like in the episode, like Jake is the one who he mentions that they learned about Galileo, and then Jake is the one who says like, how could anybody be so stupid? And then Cisco kind of corrects him. I'm not sure who is supposed to be the pompous one, but anyway.
Keiko equating herself to Galileo. See what I like about
Keiko equating herself to Galileo. Yeah.
Galileo retracted his statement publicly.
That's right. Keiko taught them about Galileo the next day in class. That's right. Okay.
And then what I love about Galileo is like, he retracted his statement publicly, and then he's like, "It blah."
Under
Just
his breath, yeah, but it
like
does move.
it really does. I love that. It's so petty, and I love it. I love
Well,
you,
and
Galileo.
it's he did what he had to do, but he also made it clear that he was just doing it because they told him he had to do it, that he didn't really believe it.
Dun, 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 dun. And then Azalea, it's hard to draw an analogy between this and real life because here the prophets do exist. Yeah, like not just. Oh, I'm on a cord. Uh-oh. Excuse me.
It's okay.
Rolly chairs and cords. Not always a great mix. Okay, so here the prophets not only exist, but exist in a perceptible way. I don't know about measurable necessarily, but
they're definitely real.
Had a character have, like, the narrative has shown us not just the character, but the narrative has shown the viewers evidence of the prophets. Right. So
yeah, it's
Mark, not. I don't care if it's apocryphal. It's a great story, and that's what really matters to me. People
brought up the fact that the prophets, that the prophets actually they verifiably exist in the comments to my video about this episode a few years ago. And I mean, I agree that's the reason that it's not a perfect metaphor for our religious debates, but it's close enough. So here's it'll do,
I don't know a whole lot. Do they worship the prophets or just venerate them? Because I think to me that distinction matters.
Well, I don't think it matters to the people who wrote Deep Space Nine.
My question still stands. As written, do they worship the prophets or venerate them?
I think they worship them. I mean, I think there are scenes of Bajorans praying to the prophets. I mean, that's
not worship. Because
well, tell me what distinction are you making?
Well, worship implies glorification, adoration, whereas that you can pray to a saint who is not divine, does not deserve. You don't worship a saint,
right?
But you can pray to a saint and make a prayer is a request. Worship means you deserve adulation.
I think they worship them. I think the prophets are I don't think they ever actually call them gods, but that's what they are to the Bajorans. They're the Bajoran gods.
Philip Kehoe disagrees with you. Okay, Mark, that's a great.
Yeah, I think they worship.
Oh wow, great conversation going on in the chat.
We're gonna be here all night.
Oh, it's really well. And
you wanted to do this episode. You wanted this to be a shorter episode, and now we're.
I did. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. If you're happy, I'm happy.
Failed you, everybody.
If you're happy, I'm happy.
Really sorry. Let's be honest.
If you're happy, I'm happy. I'm just pointing it out.
I'm loving what's going on. The distinction would be between a Buddhist monk who are venerated by the lay people versus See, Grady, I was thinking more terms of Catholicism with like the saints who are venerated versus like, God. Even the Virgin Mary is venerated, but not actually worshipped. Sarah, that was absolutely sarcasm and mockery. Me? Fail? What? You fools.
You fools.
This was the worst episode to have a short stream for Dana. Well, the vodka has helped slightly.
You're welcome.
I might have to just go and take a straight shot. I'll be right back, guys.
Okay. So there she goes.
Keep entertained, Steve.
I'll try my best. Oh boy. I can't say for sure, but I get the feeling I might miss the first few minutes of wrestling tonight. We'll see how it goes. But yes. Again, I think one of the interesting things about watching things with Dana and just, writing stuff with Dana, because we co-write fanfic and stuff, like, she is often a lot more interested in very, very fine distinctions than I am. Like, and a couple people in the chat apparently agree with her, but like the question of do the Bajarans venerate or worship the prophets, like that question honestly never occurred to me. And my instinctive response is, who cares? Like, I don't think that fine of a distinction actually matters to the story. But Dana disagrees, and apparently some of you in the chat disagree too. So it's interesting to, to watch it along, to not just to watch it with someone who hasn't seen it before, but also to watch it with someone who comes at it from a different perspective and sees different things. Yeah, 255 AD. I remember. I don't remember that specifically, but I remember that whole incident.
Sarah, just call in sick tomorrow. It's gonna be worth it. So I did hear somebody walking around, and the car is gone, and it is, according to my clock, 7:06. So
So she should be back soon. So what do you want to do? Do you want to just?
She was planning to walk home as a chance to, because it's where she works is not far from her house,
right?
But I'm just like, how did he know to go? I'm nervous. So okay, hang on. No, I don't want to stop.
Well, I'm just saying, do you want to leave it paused until she gets home?
No.
Okay.
I mean, ain't nothing going on with nobody home, so.
But I'm just saying, like, if she, okay.
Okay, I'm scrolling back on the chat. Y'all talk. We have to discuss. See, Charles Chapman, I'm back already. Look at that. Yeah, come on. You're free till 6. Azalea, I don't know what that means. Which
6? Was it 6 Pacific?
So that's, well, you got plenty of time.
So that's like 10 our time.
Oh, 6 Pacific. There you say. Yeah. They're wormhole aliens. When we young dies in Odo's arms. We're a long way from there. I've got no idea what you're taking.
Yeah.
Local Gods, Kris Kringle. That's a song. It's from the Romeo and Juliet soundtrack. If we finish the episode. Oh, and you have wrestling tonight. Let's not forget.
I do. I was telling people when you left this last time, I said I get the feeling I might miss the first couple minutes of wrestling tonight, but we'll see how it goes.
Kate Liddell, Kate Liddell, I think Mary is closer to divinity than like the saints are, but not divine. I think Catholics are pretty clear on that Mary is not to be worshipped.
She's they make a pretty clear distinction.
Yeah. There's extra statues. I love that. Kate Liddell. Delena's. I
think that's pretty clever.
I think, and speaking of namesakes, I was just moping. I think yesterday we were talking about Ghostbusters and how my namesake ends up with an asshole. Let me tell you, that's not cool. That's not cool.
Well, but
I would have kicked that sucker to the curb. He would not have gotten the time of day. I'd be like, no.
Even if you knew
with my musician, actually, maybe I'm done with the musician because I wouldn't have dated either of them in the first place.
Even if you knew somehow that you were in a movie and he was the lead protagonist.
No. Yeah, no, I don't. So what? So I get fewer lines. I mean, her character in that particular movie is not as interesting as her character in other movies.
I think she should have gone for Egon.
Oh yeah, Egon's much nicer. But Janine gets Egon, and I wouldn't want to fight with.
Janine's fine, but think about because if we're going with like the lead characters, okay, Bill Murray's Venkman is too much of a jerk.
Not a whole lot of options, honestly. I would have stayed single.
Winston is too poorly sketched out. Like you don't really get a sense of Winston's character.
He's just the black one. That's problematic.
Ray is played by Dan Aykroyd, and so is automatically off the table.
Winston and so Peter's the only unavailable. Peter's the only unavailable one. I'd stay single. I'd 100% stay single. There are worse things I could do, to quote Rizzo.
I would go for Egon. To hell with Janine.
Well, okay. Gotta pause again. I hear voices.
Oh, okay. Well, we're still paused, so. So yes, I know. Servant of Geek. Now we're talking about. I'm going when she gets back. I'm going to try to wrangle her back to the episode. I don't know if that's going to work. As you can tell, I have no control over her whatsoever. But when she gets back, I'm going to try to wrangle her back onto the episode, and we'll try to watch the rest of the episode and then have some chit chat at the end. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. No promises. No promises. But we'll see how it goes. So yeah. So, how is everything? She had a good day? Oh, me too. I'm so glad. I'm so glad she had a good day. I'm so glad she had a good day.
And it was a hard day. And Dwayne just left because he's like, she's had a 12-hour shift. She thinks she wants to walk home. But she might have changed her mind, and she doesn't have her own cell phone because it's her first full-time job. I'm so proud. Thank God. Oh.
Are you okay? You sure?
Really, I'm so glad. I think that was part of the reason that I was exhausted, is that I've been
worried about her
all day, and I'm so happy, you guys. You really don't know. I'm really proud of her. It's just 255 AD. That's a really good question. That for me has been not so much the existence of God, but what worship means, and whether what does or does not make it appropriate. Snake bit cat. Oh God, that's gonna take us off on a tangent, because I'm really. Have you seen the new Ghostbusters trailers?
I saw the most recent one. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but he says, she, I don't remember what your pronouns are, Snake Bit Cat. So you say, let's just make it easier. Let's just go with second person. Janine Egan are my OTP. So, and then of course the new Ghostbusters is the thing.
Yeah.
So, okay.
And Janine is in it, right? She's in the new trailer.
Yes. And I mean, the implication is that they had kids.
Yeah.
And the kids had kids, and they've got grandbabies. Okay,
so.
All right, so let's go back to the episode.
Let's get back.
We could just hang out for like a couple of hours, but then we wouldn't watch the show, and I wouldn't get to bitch about. Sorry, I wouldn't get to complain.
It's fine. It's fine.
Okay, let's go on.
All right, everybody, we're gonna.
Okay.
We're gonna get back into the episode, everybody. Fingers poised over the play button, and I will count us in, and we will continue with this episode. Are you ready?
I'm good. I'm ready. I'm waiting on you, man.
Oh, that's what you always say. Okay, here we go. In 3, 2, 1, play.
Oh, I'm behind you. I even said on 2, and I didn't. I was waiting for play. It's a habit now. That's okay. I'm like about a second and a half behind you guys. Are we talking about this puddle guy?
Yeah, puddle guy. A very good place to start. You like that?
Not actually that funny. All right, here we go. Ooh, this one's like just straight, you guys.
Apparently he was getting murdered.
That's not what he was doing. That's what somebody else was doing. Duh. All right. Oh, college days.
I cannot wait to see what you are like by the end of this episode.
Okay. I brought a chaser, you guys. It's going to be okay. $255 AD. Yes, it is a very complicated situation. And I don't want to complicate it further by giving out details that might cause problems. And that's all I have to say about that. Caitlin L., I did not know that. That is incredibly interesting. And I'm probably going to forget all about it, but I'd love to look into it. So, like, message me or something. Ooh, magic waffle. I wish I had one of those. I would probably have some by now. So it's probably good that I don't. Our department head gave us like all kinds of snacks today. Ridiculous. If it's not too close to wrestling time, I might show you guys at the end of the episode because I brought them home. Sarah Scott, maybe I don't remember. Yeah, it's been a day and then some. Plus, like 3 shots of vodka. Oh, gravy. You wanted to talk to him? Yeah, right.
I facilitate killing, but I'm not actually a killer. Great.
Woo. Yeah, we know that, but what's this? Oh.
Let him talk.
Not when you've had vodka, buddy. He goes to run about Pad C because the sensor shows an anomaly. Odo, you're a poet. Aside from the murder, everything seems normal.
The murder, but other than that.
Details.
Whoops.
Oh, yay!
Wow, you're cheering a school bombing. I love it.
Well, I mean, presumably, maybe there were people in there.
Yeah, I love it. Oh, thank God, only the children were inside.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but that struggle was like incredibly unconvincing.
Sarah, school's out. Summer.
Honestly, like if I'd been O'Brien there, I mean, Odo would be going down. I'd none of this struggle somewhat vaguely. I'd be turning around, punching him somewhere because it's all just goo, and then going in after
it's all just goo, I don't know. Odo's pretty strong.
I could take him. Pizza? I really like her hat, by the way.
It's a cool hat. It's like, it looks like their noses.
I'm sorry, Radical Bacon. Them as in the prophets, or them as in who? The antecedent is ambiguous there, lady.
Vedic Burial is more than my friend.
Oh, really? I missed that. Oh, he's getting heavy. Go, Commander. Go, Commander. Pope Ratchet.
Yeah, totally.
Yes, but Philip Keogh, you say that, but is that a bad thing? I don't think so. And it's purple.
There you go.
I'm digging that hat. Empress Meg, you can totally shove her out in airlock, but just save the hat, okay?
Snatch that hat off her head before you shove her out of there.
Take the hat.
Give me that hat.
Background acting? Ooh. Yes, that's right. Blah, 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 blah. Ooh. I'm feeling the extras now, you guys. Radical Bacon. I'm going to say yes.
Yes, we will. So just to put this in perspective, Cisco, let us remember, is the emissary of the prophets. So that was Wynn as like a priestess, basically having an argument with Jesus.
Yeah, that's what
and like getting in Jesus's face. Yeah. So it's like a priest getting in Jesus's face and going, "Hey, Jesus, just shut your mouth. Wait a minute."
I have credits in like the opening credits, lady.
Yeah, exactly. I'm the lead. Don't. I'm the lead guest star. Okay.
Oh, y'all don't understand how much I wish that booze did not have calories. Oh, so inconvenient.
Yeah, 255 AD. Apparently not. Apparently, good public speaking skills are a prerequisite for being a captain in Starfleet.
You have to give rousing speeches to be a leader. Everybody knows that.
It's very important.
Some random geek, I will point out that it was not just bankers, it was merchants, moneylenders and merchants.
Yes.
Oh, Norman Buckwald. Couldn't someone deter her and find somebody better? I mean, I know I'm good at what I do and I have a lot of experience and I care, but good teachers can't be that hard to find.
I love how much Sarah hates Vedic Burial, by the way. I mean, like, I think he's a little dull, but I'm not like, I don't hate the dude. But it's like, Sarah's
he's
like,
not
shut
teacher,
up!
So I don't really care. I'm pretty happy right now.
I can tell.
Dun, dun, dun!
They found out about the runabout. Say that 3 times fast.
I bet Odo could because he's a poet and it rhymes.
Absolutely.
$2.55 AD. I did know that. Do you know why I know that? Because you put it in the chat earlier. Thank you, Habibi. Oh, pizza and garlic sauce.
How about that?
Hey, how about that? Oh, holy smokes.
But that's me.
Gasp.
There's doings a transpiring.
No,
I've got to do some techno babble shit.
don't care, but she bad.
I love how it's the 24th century and it's a 7-character password.
But what if they have extra characters like omegas and stuff?
That's true.
And asterisks and like all sorts of wow. Okay, can we pause?
Sure. Okay, everybody, get ready. 3, 2, 1, pause. What are you
I am really confused about the mob.
About
why is there a mob?
They're following Vedic Barile.
I saw him. 21. Okay, they're following Vedic Barile.
He's a beloved religious leader, so he came to he's visiting the station, and people are following him because. By the way, I'm paused at 9:23 remaining. Everybody. So anyway, yeah.
All right,
so yeah, they're,
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I was talking and it's so hard.
So are you? I mean, yeah.
So this is thank you, Mark. It's an admiring crowd. Why is Vedic Barile coming to the station?
Because Cisco invited him, and because he is a rival of Wynn's to become the Kai, basically the Bajoran Pope. Because remember the episode,
the nice lady who died.
Yes, exactly. Because so there's going to be
maybe not died because she stayed on the place where if she stayed there she wouldn't die.
Right, but there's exactly. So there's going to be an election to replace her, and the two leading candidates are Wynn, who is seen as like a fundamentalist extremist, and Barile, who is the more moderate choice. And so he is coming to the station because Wynn is there to sort of
wait.
Yeah.
Wait. So something that I don't know if it was established and I was talking, I'm sorry, guys, or it just wasn't established. Why was Wynn on the station in the first place? Instead of Barai, for example.
I think, because of the Kai election coming up, and I think she wanted to use the controversy with the school that she was about to drum up to help her chances with the election. And also she has another motive that is about to be revealed in the last few minutes of the episode.
Okay. That makes sense. Thank you. Okay.
Are we good?
I'm looking at some really interesting stuff in the chat. Okay. I'm like somewhat ridiculously pleased of myself for remembering that about the Kai and the nice lady from before.
The nice lady, Kai Opaka, the nice lady on the planet where she can't leave or she'll die. So shall we?
Nope.
Nope.
Nope, not yet.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember what she looked like. Okay, y'all, I'm really sorry. We don't really see much because she wears a hat that I don't like as much. It's like very
it's the
nunnish.
Flat. It's like a nun hat. Yeah.
Very much so, except not white and black. It's kind of sparkly, which is cool. Radical bacon is that I really hope you make it.
Kai Alpaca. Kai Alpaca. That's great.
But like,
was she white? Yes, she was white. Yes.
Okay. Um, because in terms of how she was written and how the actor played the character, she reminded me a lot of um um from not DS. Oh boy. Oh boy. I'm so gone. It's hard to make things in my head. Not DS9. She reminded me of a
Are you
character
think?
from
Oh,
TNG.
are you Guinan?
Yes, very
Whoopi
much so.
Goldberg.
As
Yes,
you know, in terms of,
I can kind of see that.
very genial and approachable and sort of like the wise mentor type character who
Yes.
doesn't always speak. Yeah, Whoopi's character,
Yeah.
Vilcata, I think you mean.
Yeah. Whoopi's
Um,
character. Yeah.
okay. I was like, oh God, please don't let this just be because they're both not white. Um, Not that we don't need to see more representation, but I was just like, please don't let that be the similarity I'm seeing. So you can see like the parallels in how they're written
Yeah.
and how they're okay.
They have a
Oh
similar
boy.
affect. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry, you guys. It was just really hard with all the bad teaching and Philcata as an English teacher. I totally approve. I understood what you mean. Okay. I understand what's
Okay.
going on.
Okay.
Azalea Jane, I'm 100% going to disagree because I would say kind people rarely make for good contact for good contact. Oh boy, for good conflict, but nice people. Oh my goodness, nice people who aren't really kind. Best conflict ever. Like, oh, that's like that. That is my jam, you guys. Even when I'm sober. Okay, going back down.
Okay. Are we ready to get
I'm
back to
still
the?
reading. I don't know who Louise Fletcher is, but I think I can come back.
She's Win. She's Win. She's
So
Vedic Win.
Win and Dude. So Dude is like
Yeah.
not so fundamentally, and Win is
Right.
fundamentally. And
Right.
Wait, you said this. Why is Win on the ship? Or not ship, space station.
The space station.
That's how bad I got it, you guys.
She's because I think the apparent reason is because of the election for the Chi coming up, and she wanted to drum up this controversy with the school to
To get her to get attention, to
Yeah.
get media. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Like there was on Twitter today, people were talking about Cori Bush and how it was, and I said a thing about how it was just like posturing. So yeah, check out Twitter for that thing. Anyway, let's get back because Sarah's sleepy.
Okay. Oh, when Sarah wants you to to get back to the episode, then you jump right on.
Said,
Okay. Okay. Are you ready?
I'm waiting for you to count.
Okay, everybody get ready. We're going to get back to the show. I'm paused at 9:23 remaining on Netflix. And here we go. In 3, 2, 1, play.
David C. Drake, that is terrible and hilarious. I agree with Sarah.
She's
Phil
full of
Cotta,
wind, just like this
not
episode.
English teacher, because as long as I can understand you, it's totally cool. And if I don't understand you, I will ask. Bum, 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 bum. Some random geek, no, just when it's necessary for just what I'm dealing with. And sometimes not. Sometimes you just can't. But I'm not going anywhere tonight, and I will make sure to hydrate before going to bed so that I don't wake up with a headache because that's not fun.
That's bad.
That's bad. Discomfort is not good.
I agree. Sarah, yes, the password was password.
Azalea Jane, if you'll bring that up later, I'm sorry, I'm talking over the episode. I would love to talk about Nice.
Snake Pit Cat, that's awesome.
Please bring that up later. That's a great point.
Red shirt chili peppers.
Dun dun dun. Oh, I swear, you guys, it's not my fault. You were saying interesting things in chat. I just remember these.
Hi. I love the way he grabs her hand and stops her from grabbing his ear.
5580, hold on to that. The episode is going, and I'm not supposed to talk over the episode. Oh, love the look.
Well, Radical Bacon, that's what makes her such a great villain, is that you root for her to lose. That's what you're supposed to do with the heel. You're supposed to want to see the heel get beat.
Steve's already thinking about wrestling. You guys will have to make sure we wrap up by 7:55. Anybody watching, don't forget to check the description. Blah, 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 blah. Cheap space crap.
Dun, dun, dun. With Neela.
Radical Bacon did the thing.
Hey, what you doing there, Neela? You're looking awful intense. You okay there?
I'm really confused.
What are you confused about?
Nice is different from good. Okay, there's the thing. On the promenade. All systems are functional, Captain. Wait, no, sorry, wrong movie.
I have one job on this ship. It's stupid, but I'm going to do it.
So confused.
What are you confused about?
Everybody's talking things.
Well, you haven't been paying any attention. What do you expect? There's
They're
like
talking
five.
about things and amazeballs and multiple eye stalks, and he's not a with lasers in his eyes beholder. Neela may have been disabled. I think I dropped
Neela may have
a
disabled.
pineapple.
Neela may have disabled the weapon scanners on the promenade.
Ooh. Dun dun dun.
No,
So
I
they
love.
might
I
have
just,
weapons?
here we go. I got to see Cisco's big moment here.
Dun dun dun.
Oh God, I love. They shoot this whole thing in slow motion. It's hilarious.
Love the slow motion.
Oh.
Reaching. Oh, she's reaching into the thing that he opened and he didn't know where the thing was. It's his toolbox. He has something that looks like a gun.
Here he goes.
No.
Here he goes. He's gonna go airborne. Oh, bad aim, Neela. You blew that. Yeah!
Oh my goodness gracious.
He got her.
And she missed?
Yeah. Just another day. Oh, yeah. Kira's going to go beat somebody's ass.
Ah! Oh, that's really stupid. That's so stupid. That's so badly written.
Why
I
is
don't
that
like
badly
it,
written?
Steve.
Why is that badly written? What is badly written about that?
Because you make him a martyr.
But then he wouldn't get to be Kai.
No, but somebody from
If he's
faction-
dead, he
everybody
doesn't get
knows
to be
that.
Kai.
No, but somebody from his faction would.
Not if-
Somebody
not
who
if-
is like somebody who is there would be a little bit of infighting in his faction, but somebody within his faction would get to be Kai because that makes him a sympathetic victim.
Unless they wrote it
Bad writing.
a different way because it's all made up.
It what?
Unless they wrote it a different way because it's all made up.
It's all what?
It's all made up. It's not real.
Steve!
These aren't historical documents. This is just a TV show.
Radical bacon, I will say it's out of the way. That's where it's at.
Yeah, radical bacon, exactly. And the points don't matter. And now they're all going to do a hoedown to finish the season.
Why, Kira? Okay, so we can talk about that another time because that's going to be a big one for me. Sarah Scott, yeah, but usually they're written and the handwriting is bad. It's like really sketchy and hard to read. Some random geek, exactly. I like pizza, you guys. Oh, are we done?
I believe we're done.
We still got 20 minutes.
And that's the end of the first season of Deep Space Nine.
Woo-hoo, bye.
Okay.
Once that sucker closed.
So, actually, I wanted to bring up because this is a discussion / argument that you and I have had before. That Lupus Regina.
You're wrong, I'm sure.
Well, we'll see. There's a difference of opinion. Lupus Regina says there's a difference between you thinking Wynn's plan is doomed to failure and it being bad writing. And I know.
Who's Lupus Regina?
Someone in the chat.
Oh, hi, Lupus Regina.
And because I know you and I have had disagreements about this before, where you have chalked things up to bad writing because you disagree with the character's motives, or because you think a character isn't acting in a way that they should be acting, or in this case, like you thought that I'm foreshadowing. Vedic Wynn's plan was a bad plan, therefore it's bad writing, and I disagree with that.
People need to behave like people. This came up last night in our discussion about the play we were reading. Oh, Nikes. Do you remember what it was? Because I told you about it.
I don't remember the title of it.
It was about a book about
Alabama Story.
Alabama Story. Thank you so much, Steve. I rely on you. David Corson. Yes, exactly. That's exactly the point I made, because the character being stupid was a state senator. And my point was that you can be, and it's a little bit different here. Characters can be stupid without it being stupid writing, but there are some places in which a stupid character, it is unreasonable. It stretches my willing suspension of disbelief, which I'm willing to believe in, like space travel and aliens. But when we're talking about people, I have a pretty good understanding of human nature, and it stretches my willing suspension of disbelief past the point of credulity when I believe that someone who is foolish can effectively dupe others. That takes either being savvy about human nature and understanding how to manipulate others, or having other people manipulate you to where, like, you're not the, you're a puppet, which is fine. If we had any sort of indication that Wynn was not actually the one in control of her own actions, that she was being manipulated, that she was a puppet, and there were other forces, other members of her faction who were sort of pushing her to do this, that would be fine. We don't see that. there's a similar character in Alabama Story who is the state senator. And my point was that the state senator he starts out and he's kind of a bully, and and I'm sorry, I see the chat is moving and I'm responding to something, so I'm
just finish
deliberately
your
not
point.
watching. I'm
Just
trying to
finish your
finish my
point.
point.
Just finish your point.
I'm trying, Steve. Stop interrupting me. Is that he's you're not supposed to like him, and he's racist, and it's based on things that actually happened. But at the state level, somebody who is elected to office has to be socially savvy, because it's very much about who you know and making people like you. And he's not good at that. He starts off with bluster and intimidation, whereas it would be much more believable if he started off feeling out the situation. And there's something similar here with Wynn. If Mark, Neil, and I'll get to that. Or maybe, but we might stop and come back to it on another stream.
Okay, so
when it's difficult for me to believe that she is up for the position of Kai if she is inept and not controlled by others. We have not seen any evidence that she is controlled by others. So it's difficult for me to believe that she is that her plan is that clumsy. And some of it is because it all kind of shows in this episode. Like it's really sudden. I realize they want to do something exciting for, the season finale, but have we met her before? No,
this is her first appearance.
Are you
saying
that's why I'm saying it's poor writing?
You're saying she's inept just because her plan was foiled?
Not because her plan was foiled, because seriously, a gun?
Well, if O'Brien only figured it out with seconds to spare, it was almost successful, and there's nothing to officially tie. There's nothing to officially tie Kai or Vedic Wynn to it.
That's the point.
They can't prove that she had anything to do with it.
He ain't dead. And additionally, even if he had been dead, like I said earlier, there would be other people in his faction. He would be him dying is a bad option.
You are assuming that. You are making that assumption. You are jumping to that conclusion. I don't think that's been established.
No, I'm not jumping to that conclusion. Because if he is in the position to, that he is a threat to her becoming Kai, that means people like him. And she hasn't made him if the person who killed him was somebody that he had wronged and that came out later, that would be a great story. You did this to me and I never got justice through legal channels, so I am going to kill you because you hurt me. You hurt people I care about, whatever that is, vengeance. That's something that is understandable and relatable and sympathetic. And that's not what we get. He is being killed for political reasons. And that makes him sympathetic, regardless of how good a person he is. But obviously he has some public opinion on his side. Otherwise he wouldn't be in the running to be elected as Kai. Okay, so 255 AD. Steve, if you can help me out with the chat here. It's been.
Well, just let it go. Just let it go. Respond to the thing that you saw.
Okay, I'm sorry, people.
It's okay.
If I missed your stuff, but yeah.
Not everybody can get their question answered. It's okay.
255 AD added me, so I saw that. And
please.
They went bing. Why are you so sure he'd just be replaced by someone else if they killed him? What if he has a cult personality that no one can take over? 255 AD, that has not been established. And again, part of that, this is part of why I say it's bad writing, that all of this is just ta-da, here in this culminating episode. I think it would have been more effective to set up this political conflict earlier on. And I don't see why they couldn't have done that. I mean, even like we've done with Steve and Stuffy, just little touches here and there. That would be better writing. Set up to know that you're moving toward this, that this is what you want to end the season on.
I understand what you're saying, but I feel like
I just no, I
I feel like
can't get that.
a couple of points. I feel like I do. I mean, just because a character in your estimation is not thinking rationally or has not come up with a very good plan doesn't mean that it's bad writing. At least not. This is my opinion. Obviously, you feel differently, and um, and also
That nobody else comes up with a decent plan.
a lot of what
Nobody.
a lot of what you're doing, it sounds like rewriting the episode after the fact. And I
Called fix fic. That's what I
and I,
do.
but when I'm reviewing an episode, and again, this is just me. This obviously you don't have to do this, but just the way I come at it, when I'm reviewing an episode or a movie or anything, like I try not to do that. I don't think that's fair because everybody can imagine that they could have done it better. That doesn't mean you could have or that you would have, and it doesn't mean that the writers of that actual thing that you're reviewing should have. You see what I'm saying? Like it's easy to say, like,
Yes,
well, they
they
should have
should
just.
have. It was
It's
their
easy.
job.
It's easy to say, well, they should have set this up here, 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 and here, and they should have done. It's like it's easy to say that after the fact. I would prefer to evaluate the work that they actually made, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And if it does, if there's something about it that doesn't work for you, that's fine. But I don't think it's fair
I
to go
no, I
beyond that
think
and say what it doesn't work for me because they should have done X, Y, and Z. You know what I mean?
no. Because to say that, I think it's perfectly fair to say that it's not bad, but it could have been better. And here's
Okay.
how it could have been
Uh,
better. That's
okay.
what I'm saying.
Okay. Okay.
And oh gosh, there's so much interesting stuff in chat. Oh my gosh, and
Well, pick
I
a couple
can't.
of your favorites because we're ending the show in less than 9 minutes.
Less than 9 minutes.
Yes.
JH, exactly. Establishing is always better than denying. Some random geek, I love you, but the writing for this episode works for this episode and it works for you. And, well, good for you. I'm glad. It's not terrible, but I guess that's what gets me is I'm like I see the possibilities here, and I'm just like, oh, but you didn't do like it just seems like it wouldn't have been. I don't know how it was set up as far as like a business model. And maybe they just like brought on new writers wherever they could. Maybe they were like strapped and scrambling. I don't know, but
the writing staff was fairly consistent.
That when you know that you've got the season, how can you not? I mean, because like with Chloe. Right. I know where I'm going with that. Like when I wrote the scenes that I wrote yesterday and you were impressed, I'm like, yes, I put that in there because I'm going here. And I know that. Like, I'm not even a professional writer, Steve. I'm not a professional. That's not my job. And I'm not going to be because I care more about teaching. That's what's really, really important to me. I just like these are people who write for like a major television show. How could they not get this? There's like so much potential there. So many places where it could have been like, where it could have absolutely amazed me. And I'm just like, it's hard not to see the missed steps. Caitlin, you didn't at me. I see Sarah Scott's mentioning that Caitlin actually explained why this episode felt a little out of sequence. I messed up. I'm sorry. Lupus Regina, you say they were operating on pre-serialized storytelling system, but I mean, no, I'm not a professional writer because I care more about teaching. Oh, thank God. School never appears again.
Yeah, I think starting in season 2, Keiko's story is not connected to the school. I think they're done with the school.
I just no. I Chris Kringle, I disagree. Oh God. And Chris Kringle, yeah, I will agree with your what I see as most recent point. A lot of times executive meddling can screw things up. Yeah, it's hard for me to know about that because I've never, I've never
Sarah, I'm
had
going
to
to tell
deal
you in
with.
a second.
I've never had to deal with executive meddling as far as my writing.
Right, because you write fanfic. You're the executive. Who's going to
What I
meddle with
say
your
goes,
who's going to
folks.
meddle who's going to come in and say, "No, you can't do that."
Um, but I definitely know how that goes with teaching. And whoa, man, if I was to write it, I'm like, yeah, but I wanted to do that and they wouldn't let me. Why wouldn't they let me? Oh gosh, I have no idea. Pump something out every week. And originally the finale was going to be a TNG crossover. Oh boy. Okay.
Yeah.
First of all, it's pump something out every week, and it's hard for me. I don't know, an episode every week when you've got a team of writers and you can get together as writers and talk about your ideas.
But here's the thing. Here's the here. But here's the thing. Here's another thing I think you need to consider that maybe it doesn't. They don't have forever to write.
I know they've got at least a week.
Yeah, but I mean,
I don't know. You know, I don't know how fast they have to crank these suckers out. But
it's not as
part of it also is the way that I write. It does take me forever to get things written. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
And also that doesn't matter because it's just fanfic, so who cares? But and part of that is because I know where I'm going. Like I know what I'm trying to accomplish with the story. You know, so I have to remember that most people don't work that way. Most people do a rough draft, revisions, and a final draft. And I don't do that. It doesn't work for me. It's like, it's hard for me as a teacher of writing. Like, I know that most people work that way and I don't. So I have to take myself out of the teaching part of it because like, when I try to tell people just like, look, just write something good.
like you're telling the writers of Deep Space Nine 30 years after the fact. Well, look, just write something good.
Like, I don't think it's that hard to say, look, just have something in mind and know where you're going.
Okay.
Is
speaking
really
of
that complicated, Steve?
No, it's not.
You're a YouTube big shot.
I make an effort.
And we need to stop now because it's 7:57 you've got wrestling and
I was just gonna say in the interest of letting everybody know where we're going, because Sarah asked and someone else asked earlier. I still for next week, for Dana's next episode, I don't know what we're watching next week, but the week after next, when we come back to Deep Space Nine. So I want to give Sarah a shout out because Sarah actually put some work in and sent me a breakdown of season 2 with her opinions of what the best episodes were and everything. So we are starting with season 2. We are not going to watch every single episode in the season from here on out. We are going to skip around a little bit. We're still going to watch season to season, and we're going to watch the episodes in order, but I'm going to skip some episodes in between. So we are going to watch the 3-part season premiere of season 2. So we'll watch those 3 episodes. And then from that point on, we'll skip a few episodes here and there. And so I would
apparently Sarah.
Yeah. Well, I know actually Sarah doesn't know which episodes I'm going to pick, but based on her thing that she sent me. Yes.
I trust you.
Oh, good. I know my Deep Space Nine. Okay.
I sure hope so.
I don't know. Okay. I don't know about a lot of shit, but I know about Deep Space Nine. I
lost an earring. I mean, I didn't lose it, but it flopped out. So
okay. So anyway, so next week we're gonna watch. Next week we're gonna watch whatever Dana has in mind, and I literally do not know.
Last thing.
Yes.
Do you have any other guesses
for what we're gonna watch next time? I have no idea.
No idea.
I haven't even thought about it. I guessed Avatar: The Last Airbender, but
Avatar: The Last Airbender, and I didn't tell you whether you were right or not. So we could be watching that.
We could be.
But we might not.
But we might not, because you didn't say.
I didn't say. and you don't
255
know.
AD. I'm not sure if we're going to do Sanctuary or not. I really like that episode, but I really want to try to get to limit us to like the really either the best or the most important episodes for the overall narrative. So I really
You could
like
put polls on your
Sanctuary.
Patreon.
Yeah, that's right. I'm thinking. Yeah, we talked about that. I might put up a couple of polls on Patreon and for the members to vote on. But we're definitely doing the first 3 episodes, and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
And yes, and we're
Um,
definitely doing the past tense 2-parter as well that talks about the Bell riots. That's
don't
that
forget,
goes.
folks, if you really if you're really into which DS9 episodes should we watch, you could also put it on your Ask Away questions because Ask Away is on Friday.
That's right. Ask Away is day after tomorrow. And also, don't forget to watch. We mentioned it at the top of the show, but we'll mention it again. Don't forget to watch Dana's channel, youtube.com/Dana Cold Dares, and leave her comments.
Yes. And don't forget about
The charity
charitylinks.page,
links,
which
yes.
is where our friend Some Random Geek keeps it updated with friends of ours who are struggling and could really use some help.
Yes.
So if you can help, please do.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right. I believe that's it.
Dude, it's 8:01.
I know. I gotta go. So yeah.
Bye, everybody. It was so great to see you and talk to you. And y'all, you don't realize how much I didn't say because we would be here until I would have to call in sick tomorrow, Sarah. And let me tell you, I'm on EST, not whatever crazy European time you're on.
Greenwich Mean Time.
Something like that. I don't know. Does the Greenwich hate Christmas?
The Greenwich. It stole Christmas, but then its heart grew 3 sizes that day. And,
its heart grew 3 sizes that day. All right, it's 8:01. Let's do.
All right, I gotta go watch wrestling. Dana has to go.
Richard Moore.
Dana has to go sober up. All right.
I gotta go. Have some hydration. Folks.
There you go. And
bye, everybody.
All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye.